Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Thank you for joining us and being here today. My name is Darius Garneau, and I'm the president of the Sudbury Provincial NDP. I would like to start today's announcement by recognizing that we are in the traditional territory of the Atikamekw and Anishinaabe people and in the Robinson-Huron Treaty. I'm very happy to be here today for a special announcement and to be given the opportunity to introduce one of the most inspirational, hardworking professors I and many others on this call have had the pleasure to learn from. Of course, I'm talking about the one and only Dr. Nadia Verrelli. So, Nadia, whenever you're ready to make your announcement, we're excited to hear from you.
Darius, thank you for such kind words. Oh my God. It's so wonderful to be joined today by so many friends, my family, students, and colleagues. Oh my God, I see my parents. Hi, Mami. Okay. Everyone, thank you so much for attending. For those of you that I'm meeting for the first time, hello, bonjour, Annie. Je m'appelle Nadia Verrelli et je suis fière d'être votre candidat NPD pour la prochaine élection fédérale et pour défendre Sudbury. My name is Nadia Verrelli and I'm running to be Sudbury's next federal NDP candidate. Friends, now more than ever, Sudbury deserves a member of parliament who will listen, who will fight for us, and who will work with us to build our community. We don't have to look further than the devastation at Laurentian to see that we need a new Democrat MP to stand up for us in Ottawa. My family and me, we grew up working class, and my parents taught us, if you want something, you go to school and you go to work. Jobs, from cleaning bathrooms and toilets on airplanes to serving and working in banquet halls. But I did what I needed to do to help my parents and to get myself through school. And with their support and with their encouragement, I did it. And against all odds, I became the first woman in my family and my extended family to earn a PhD. People always ask me, why political science? Well, when you grow up with a hard-headed, no-nonsense Italian father with good but strong opinions about Canadian politics, you become determined to win an argument. As a kid, my mom will attest to this, I always argued with my father about the injustices that I saw and things that never made sense to me. But I was only a kid and I couldn't convince my dad. So I vowed that I would get educated to win some of those fights. We still debate today. I love it. I don't always win, but it doesn't stop me. Però papà, tu sai che la Roma è sempre meglio del Lazio, allora lascia perdere. Apart from my interest in politics, my parents taught me and my siblings the values that continue to guide me today: commitment, hard work, and perseverance to overcome the barriers of being a first-generation Canadian from a family who had to struggle to meet our everyday needs. I saw the sacrifices they made for us, and I am forever grateful. Mama, Papa, grazie. Till this day, they say, it's only through hard work and education that you can unlock a better future. Heck, that's why they came to Canada, to give us the opportunities that they never had. And they would always tell us, and they still tell us, never forget from where you came, never forget where you're going, and never forget the people who helped you along the way. Comme Jean-Marc dit, t'oublies d'où tu viens, t'oublies qui t'es. So continua a essere italiana, continua a mangia la pasta, mais tu dois étudier le français. Mes parents croyaient en Canada bilingue. Et c'est pourquoi j'ai étudié le français. Et c'est pourquoi je veux défendre la communauté franco-ontarienne à Ottawa. Parce que les libéraux l'ont abandonné. While pursuing my education and career, I lived in a lot of different cities in Ottawa. All were great, but I instantly fell in love with the city and with Laurentian. Being a professor brought me to the other side of education. Being at Laurentian taught me that education is always about the students. Like me, my students are first generation students looking to unlock their potential. Helping them to achieve their dreams, to overcome their fears and inhibitions became my mission. Teaching and working with these bright, creative, hungry students, people like Caitlin and Christina and Nick, all of you, has helped me to expand on my skills that my parents taught me, that my education taught me, and become a stronger ally for you and to advocate for you, for all my students. Like the people of Sudbury, they deserved my best, and I worked hard to give it to them. That they're here today with me is such a wonderful testament to that, and it warms my heart. Yes, they began as students, but they are friends. And it makes the shattered dream of Laurentian that much a greater loss. Seeing my program eliminated, my students and my colleagues cast to the wind has been tough, I'm not going to lie. I'm so thankful for leaders like Charlie Angus and Jagmeet Singh and Franz Jelena and Jamie West and all that they have done to support the Laurentian family and to fight for our community. Today, I am seeking the nomination because as rewarding as it is to teach and to write, I have a fire in me to act and to act for you. I have a fire to listen to the people of Sudbury, to fight for this town and to build it together with all of you. Je ressens un urgent besoin d'agir et je suis prête à passer à l'action, à écouter les gens de Sudbury, à me battre pour la communauté et à construire tous ensemble. Quand les libéraux et les conservateurs nous laissent tomber, je sais qu'il faut que nous passions à l'action. Having the Liberals and the Tories let us all down only fueled that fire. Today, I am ready to fight. And now I'm here to ask for the support of my fellow NDP to take them on. With a great team behind me and an open seat, I know we can win. Having you all here with me today is such a great start to this campaign. I was asked earlier this week some of the issues I was eager to talk about and some that I don't really enjoy. Hey, I'm a Canadian professor. There aren't many topics that I don't enjoy talking. Just ask my parents, my students. Actually, just ask Boris or even Maria, who has been subjected to so many of our political discussions over the dinner table. But in this coming election, there are certainly going to be issues where the Liberal government must be held account by the people of Sudbury. I want to start with Indigenous peoples. We need a government to live up to its promises and implement the TRC 94 calls to actions and to fully implement the UN Declaration on Rights of Indigenous Peoples. Government needs to stop stalling. It needs to stop unnecessarily fighting Indigenous peoples in court. In conversation with a local lawyer working on the Robinson-Huron Treaty Annuities case, and in conversation with students and friends in the community, I know, we all know, we need a government willing to sit down and have meaningful conversations and discussions with Indigenous peoples, nation to nation. We also need to talk about violence against women. The rate of domestic abuse and violence against women is staggering and has only gone up since the pandemic. Despite this, the Prime Minister, who brands himself a feminist, has done nothing to strengthen our laws or policies to protect women and children in abusive situations. Sitting on panels and advocacy groups looking at violence against women, I know that the federal government can strengthen our criminal code. It can engage in public education campaign, and it can provide more funding for women's shelter to better protect women and children trapped in abusive relationships. Other countries are doing it, so can we. We need to. Women need to feel safe at home, at work, at school, heck, everywhere. And governments need to ensure that we are safe. It's not enough to say that we're very concerned about it, like the Liberals keep on saying. We need to act, and we need to act now. Another issue dear to me is pharmacare. When a former Liberal health minister appointed by the government goes off to do a study and comes back and says that the New Democrats are right, that we do need a universal publicly funded pharmacare system, only the Liberals could ignore another Liberal telling them this. Friends, families shouldn't have to choose between medication and their next meals. We need universal pharmacare, and we need it now. We need to know why our Liberal MPs voted against it, and we need to elect an MP and a government that will get it done. Long-term care. The privatized long-term care system has been a deadly disaster, and we've seen this during the pandemic. How can we forget? How can the Liberals forget? My sister, who is here with us today, hi Daniela, she has a severe form of multiple sclerosis, and that's been hard for our family. It's still hard for our family. I'm just so thankful that she is cared for at home by us, by our family. Private care was never an option for us. We simply could not afford it, nor could we trust a system that we know is broken. When you think about your family entering care, your grandparent, your parent, your sibling, or even your child, are you comfortable with a private system with questionable standards, with few inspections, and a tragic level of care? I know I'm not, and I know my parents aren't. Shouldn't our loved ones have a decent national standard of care in a system that's not bogged down by Tory lobbyists or corporate boards? That's the New Democrat plan. And you can believe it, I will be pushing for it in this election. And before I close, I have to spend a moment talking about the failure of this Liberal government when it comes to Laurentian University. 4 months ago, we learned about the CCAA process being launched. Publicly filed court documents laid the guts of the problem bare. The university had a huge debt and a deficit to go with it. Since then, we've seen cuts to programs that affect a student's ability and opportunity to study in their community and in their language. We asked for help. I and others personally wrote to our MPs, and nothing. For a government committed to bilingualism and reconciliation, the cuts to the Francophone and Indigenous programs should not have happened. They could have, they should have stood up for our community and done something. Instead, our city is about to enter a very difficult phase: job loss, economic hardship, and a very real blow to our place in the nation. La Laurentienne est le berceau des institutions culturelles franco-ontariennes. Maintenant, la communauté franco-ontarienne est plus que jamais fragilisée. Laurentian is a center for reconciliation and Indigenous learning. Sudbury benefited from that role. We were leaders in that role. And we benefited from the identity as a place where Francophones, Indigenous peoples could meet and thrive along with all other vibrant cultures that make up our city. How do we recover from this? First, Sudbury needs a leader who will listen. Sudbury a besoin d'un chef qui se lèvera et se battra pour vous. And Sudbury needs a leader who will gather our community together and build. With your help, I will be that leader. Avec votre aide, je serai ce chef. Friends, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Merci à vous. I would like to conclude by giving a shout out to all of you for supporting me through the early stages of this process. Boris, Maria, for helping me take this on. My team, your guidance, your professionalism, your confidence has made this possible. Speaking with you and members of our party, it's clear to me that Sudbury is ready to fight to end 7 years of absent Liberal MPs. Sudbury has rallied, and we are ready to fight for a seat at the table. I thank you so much for helping me be the one to fight for you. Merci. E mamma, papà, grazie per tutto che avete fatto per me, grazie per la forza che mi dai ogni giorno. Senza di voi non sarei quello che sono oggi. Allora, thank you. I look forward to meeting and speaking with all of you and all of my fellow New Democrats before the nomination, and if you choose to represent you in Ottawa. Thank you. Merci. Miigwech. Grazie.